Hello, you are listening to the Mets in the UK podcast, your home for Mets content in the UK. You can catch us on Tuesdays on Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcast hosts. You can find us on all the socials at Mets in the UK or use the hashtag MITUK to get involved. We've got a full house. Everyone's here. So, save the applause. Like literally just everyone. Cool.
I did.
Evening, Joe. How are you doing?
I am good, thank you. It feels like I've not been around for ages, but yeah, back tonight, ready to go. Excited.
Absolutely. Evening, Trace. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you, my dear. How are you?
I am good. Yes, it's been a busy week, so we had to come back. There's lots to talk about this evening, and of course, checking it all out throughout the night. Our night owl tour. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Sleep deprived as ever.
Yes, wouldn't have it any other way. So, what a busy week it's been. Who knew we needed a Mets in the UK podcast to kickstart the Mets off season? As is always the case, the second we press stop recording, all hell has broken loose over the last week. It wouldn't be a week in Mets Twitter without it, really. So what's happened in the last week? Well, after talking a little bit last week about the infield and all the options, the Mets went and made a trade. Getting Freddie Peralta and Tobias Myers from the Brewers in exchange for Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat, going the other way. Louis Robert Jr. from the White Sox was acquired. Going the other way was Louis Angel Acuna and Truman Pauly, who's a right-handed pitcher, in order to get Robert back. The Mets have picked up Craig Kimbrell, which is a bit of a throwback. Signed to a minor league contract with an invitation to spring training. Obviously, in his prime, a great pitcher. What the Mets can get out of him, who knows? It's another David Stern's salvage project that we're all dying to see happen. Speaking of salvage projects, the Mets have also picked up Louis Garcia, another right-handed pitcher, 1-year deal, major league contract to bolster the middle relief kind of area. And the Mets also picked up Vidal Brujan, an infielder / outfielder, acquired from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for our good friend cash considerations. Departures and trade pieces wise, Cooper Criswell was traded to the Mariners for cash after being DFA'd. Dickie Lovelady has been paid again. And I literally mentioned him last week. Sung Chae Cheng, the shortstop, was DFA'd literally days after being claimed off waivers. So who knows where that one's going. In other Mets news, MLB Pipeline has been posted. The top 100 has ranked Nolan McLean at number 6 in all of MLB. Custom Bench is number 16. Jonah Tong is 48 and AJ Ewing at 97. So Mets with 4 in the top 100 prospect link rankings. Other news, John DeMarco has announced his departure from SNY. Obviously, John changed the way that SNY broadcasts, some of the best in baseball, arguably the best in baseball with some of his work. Catch our guest pod where we spoke to John. Link will be in the description. But obviously, all of us at Mets in the UK wish him well in his future endeavors, whatever that looks like. And then last, but definitely not least, the news that we're so happy about. GB Baseball under-23 manager Jonathan Craman named St. Lucie Mets bench coach. We've got a Brit on the Mets. Yes. Come on. How exciting.
Taking over the world.
Yes. And then literally just before recording, we had the Freddie Peralta Zoom conference. I say Zoom conference because he wasn't actually there in person. Not really a great deal said throughout that. The usual sort of sound bites of, I can't wait to get started. New York's a good team. Can't wait to pitch every 5th day. And then someone did ask him the question about contract extensions. And again, it's the standard stereotypical soundbite of, well, I've only just got here. I'm going to wait for a year and see what happens. Like we didn't all see it coming anyway. But not a great deal missed there, but very excited to have Peralta as our ace going into the season. So lots has happened in the last week. Obviously, as is always the case, the second we stop the recording, there's going to be more breaking news tonight. It's bound to happen. But in the meantime, let's reflect on what's happened over the last week. Joe, any thoughts?
Well, until recently, I was in a bit of a Met slumber, and I don't know if anyone noticed, but as soon as that Boba Fett jersey over shirt day happened, I was like, well engaged. Again, it reignited my excitement about the season. The Freddie Peralta thing's obviously cool. Hopefully he'll slot in well and pitch as he can. I'm still a little bit underwhelmed by our pitching, but I'm hoping McLean and a resurgent Senga will do a good job. So I've got faith in that. And the only other thing I was quite positive about, actually, I won't have to try and say Sprout or Sprout again for a while. I kept Sprout. And this could be a bit of a random one, but there is an advert on TV at the moment in the UK. Well, I'm sure he's in it. Has anyone noticed?
No.
Nothing springs to mind. I'm going to tell you afterwards first to see if it's acceptable to mention it on Twitter and socials first.
Okay.
I'll just leave that hanging. There's a little yellow bird in the advert. Little yellow bird in the advert? No. Okay, don't worry. Tracey's confused. Lewis Robert Jr. I'm kind of a bit mad about that. He's probably a bit of an upgrade on Toria's favourite Tyrone. Do we think? Just about?
Yeah.
Hopefully. And then, that was cool. And then I'm still a little bit concerned about left field, but Benj is a prospect that hopefully you'll get a chance and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm reignited again. I'm ready for the season now. That Boba Fett thing has probably got me excited. So yeah.
Yeah, just on that left field thing with Boba Fett, there has been some murmurs about potentially Bichette playing out in left field, maybe getting some reps out there. And Senga, there's been lots of positive noise about him. I believe he's already back and doing great things. He's looking in good shape from the reports that we've heard and the rumors so far surrounding him. So yeah, I agree, Joe. I think big season for Senga, especially after a couple of very disappointing years for him. I think he's still got another year after this year. I seem to remember him signing a 5-year contract, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was a 4-year one, but either way, it's time for him to really step up as that market's going to be approaching soon. So yeah, it's a big year for Senga, and it's going to be an exciting one for sure. Trace, any thoughts on the news from last week?
Well, it's nice to know that David Stearns listens to our podcast, obviously, because just last week we were saying that for how many years have we heard that this year is going to be Jet Williams' year? Well, yeah, this year it is, but in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And we also said about Luis Angel Acuna being possibly sort of the last one to, like, he wouldn't get the chair, so to speak, if they were playing musical chairs. So, yeah. What are you giggling at? Never mind. Yes, so he hasn't got the chair. Well, he's got one on the train to plane to Chicago. Sorry, it's been a week already. Yeah, so overall positive, I think. We have a bit more of an outfield than we had last week when we recorded, and some nice pitching help. Yeah, overall positive.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to see the off season is coming together just at the right time as well. It's giving everyone that optimism going into spring training, which we all so desperately needed. Speaking of optimistic,
already.
Nice. Always optimistic. You know me. Always. 15 days to pitchers and catchers. Just saying. Just saying. I can't. Not that I'm counting or anything. I can't wait.
There's a calendar behind you. I can see it. You're like ripping off the pages.
I'm really at super withdrawal stage. Baseball. we've got the Super Bowl in a week and a half, and then after that, it's officially baseball season, as far as I'm concerned. But the goings on, Peralta, obviously over the moon about that. Though, again, it can never please everyone. There were still some people who were murmuring and mumbling about it, and it's only a 1 year. We spoke last week about the fact that actually we can get away with looking at 1 years right now because of what's becoming available in free agency next year and the CBA. So I am super happy with it. He is a bona fide ace. Even Rosie thinks so. He's a bona fide ace. He goes deep. We know what we're going to get from him. He is absolutely solid. His ERA has consistently been good. He's not, a one-season wonder. So I'm genuinely really excited. One of the things that I liked, you're right, Tom, there wasn't much in the press conference earlier, but one of the things that came across was how he's already spoken with people. He's already got relationships with people in the clubhouse. He mentioned Soto, my guy Ty, Lindor. He was saying how he's excited to kind of come and have fun playing with them. Fun being the word. He also was saying how he's not bothered about if he pitches first, third, fifth. Like he's not precious about that. He just wants to pitch. So that is really good. And actually, sticking with the pitching, Garcia is a sneaky good clubhouse pickup because his influence, the way that he will be able to work with the younger pitchers, he's one of those guys who will guide them, and he demands quite a lot. So he'll run that bullpen without question. I guarantee he will run that bullpen. So he's a really good clubhouse guy to have. As far as Kimbrel goes, just meh. Okay, why not?
See what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Stick him in the lab. Let him loose with our guys. See what he can do in spring training. I'm excited to see what he's got in spring training. He might be, one of those surprise packages. No one's really expecting much from him. Just upside all round, really. Not a great deal of money if he does make the major league roster. So that is fine. I've been saving the painful bit. Luis Robert Jr. is, yes, he's a bit of an upgrade on my guy Ty.
Oh,
Don't make me have to say that again. Thank you, please. But defensively, he is great, but so is Ty. His bat has been questionable the last couple of seasons, but if he can get back to where he was, and you never know, you've got to remember that we were talking about this guy last year, right? There's been constant there's been constant debate about, is he staying, is he going, and he's just kind of gotten on with it throughout all of that, which shows good character, but it must have impacted him somehow. So perhaps coming to us, being settled, being with the right guys might help bring his back to life a little bit. So I am okay with it. Just okay. I'm not blown away by it, don't get me wrong, but I'm okay with it. I think it's probably fair that Luis Angel Acuna was the one to go. We talked about that last week as well. We said that was quite the more likely option, given that his value was at its highest at that point. We had an embarrassment of riches in infield. We still have more than we need, really. Sorry, move the matter. And Sprout going, a little bit surprised about that. Little bit surprised. Not so much about Williams going. Again, we talked about that last week. So overall, I think we are shaping up really well. There's still some concern around Bichette at third. There's talk, obviously, of him in outfield, but has he had reps there? Has he not? And Polanco at first, with his lack of experience there. But these skills are transferable, and yes, they're totally different. They are different, but they will have had the fundamental skills. It's more about the foot speed and the angles and the anticipation. But that's, we can play with that in spring training. I would expect they'll perhaps get more of an outing than you would normally expect from your major league roster earlier in spring training. We don't normally expect to see them early on. We perhaps will with these guys, with them learning new positions. Don't think for a second they're not already working on it. And you have to remember as well, especially for Bichette at third, he's going to have Lindor next to him. So Lindor is, experienced enough to be able to cover a bit for him there. Polanco at first is going to have Alvey and or Torrens helping him out. So I'm not overly concerned, but I understand where the concerns come from. These guys are professional athletes. It doesn't always work, but there's no harm in trying it. It's, there is right now, it's, and I don't know if this phrase translates across the pond, but it's, square pegs, round holes. But we've got time to carve them into round pegs. So there's time to do that. And even if they're a little rough around the edges and it doesn't work immediately, then,
it's sandpaper. Fine.
Exactly that. Exactly. There is time. It doesn't have to be right on day one. It's a long old season, as we know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, it's worth remembering, like, you don't have to have superstars in every single position. We need serviceable guys that are dependable and reliable on a consistent basis. And I think you touched on it with the Peralta signing. He's definitely that. One of the people that we've picked up that's not got much love, it's kind of gone under the radar a bit, is Tobias Myers. I think he's going to be a solid pickup for the bullpen. Had a worse 2025 than 2024 when you look at the stats, but his ERA is good. It's like around 3 career average. For a bullpen arm, like that's pretty decent. He's got an okay sort of walks level as well. So we need dependable guys in the bullpen. That was one of the issues that we had last year. So I think, he's definitely that guy when it comes to, solid and reliable. And that's what the Mets are crying out for after a very inconsistent year last year. I'm going to have to disagree with you though, Tor, on Sproat. I think when you look at Sproat, I think a lot of his hype is the classic Mets overhyping prospects, in that he's 25. He's got a career ERA of nearly 5. We all would have loved it to work out for him. Obviously, we prefer it when they're sort of homegrown, if you like, and they come through the ranks. But I think you have to kind of look at it. We kind of talked about it in the group chat when the Peralta deal was made. Like, you look at Tom, who's maybe not as ready, but he's 3 years younger. And then when you consider you've got to give up an arm, because clearly that's what the Brewers wanted as part of the trade, I think Sproat did actually make the most sense. And we can't, there comes a point where the farm is stocked. We're right. Like, we are blessed with many great players in certain positions, but it's sometimes you've got to let them go because, others need to come through, or maybe it's just not as great as we first thought. And I think Jet Williams is the prime example of that. Like, no doubt we'll see him. He'll go on a tear now and he'll turn out to be like a good player, but that's baseball, and that happens to every team. It's not a Mets thing. It happens to all teams. Much like in other sports, as you say. Now, news-wise, there was one thing I held back because Cohen's been back on Twitter. I know. But this time he's actually replied to a tweet. So Steve's back to communicating with the fans again, which is great. And there's been a lot of controversy around this. So I want to get your takes on it because baseball fashion is always important. The tweet was around how the Mets should drop the pinstripes and bring back the ice cream jerseys where it's solid white with the blue pipe in. And there was a fan who tweeted a picture of it to Cohen and said, the Mets should drop the pinstripes, leave that for the people across town, and we should go back to the ice cream jerseys. And come rather humorously in his true form, respond with, I'm glad people are back to complaining about jerseys rather than the team.
Well, yeah.
But what are your thoughts? Should we go back to the all white jerseys, Tor?
You know me, I'm usually like super traditionalist when it comes to pretty much anything baseball. In this instance, though, the pinstripes just look way better. They just look way better. I think we have more personality than plain cream. It's my 2 cents.
Okay. Trace, what about you? What do you think?
I quite like the ice cream because there's a picture that someone's replied with David Wright in the ice cream shirt, and I do like it. It's sort of from my era when I first started watching the Mets. So for me, it would be a good throwback uni. So yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
So use it as a throwback rather than a let's ditch the pinstripes.
Regular. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think there's nothing offensive about it. Just
I don't know, throwback Thursdays or something, and have it as the uniform of the day.
That'd be cool. I like that. That should catch on. Throwback Thursdays for old unis. Love it.
Yeah.
Joe, what about you? What's your thought on the ice cream jerseys?
My thought on the ice cream jerseys, looking at it now in front of me, we're not a cricket team, mate, are we? It's a bit cricket. But I do like, as Tracey said, I used to like them. We went to that stage a few years ago. We were wearing the retro ones on a Sunday night, weren't we? Or on a Sunday, whenever it was. So I don't see any harm in bringing it back. I mean, it's more stuff to spend our hard-earned money on, isn't it, at the end of the day? So wouldn't do the Mets any harm, but yeah. I'm also thinking on a practical point of view. I mean, it's just more white stuff to wash, isn't it? The stains and things.
I'm sure they've got plenty of guys in the clubhouse that do the washing.
I mean, if you've taken that home, you're going to have to get the stain devils out, aren't you? A bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually in agreement. I really like the ice cream jerseys. I think a more modernized version of that, sort of similar to what they did with the grey road jerseys last year, where you've not got the piping down the middle, but you've got like a nice sort of sleeve detail. This is getting high fashion, I know, but the modernized version of the ice cream jerseys, I think, would look really good. I'm also going to I know Joe's wearing the black jersey, but controversy, I'm going to say that's the one that needs to go, I think.
Oh no!
No, I love the black jerseys. Not last year's black jerseys, but
purely because Blackout Fridays have had their day. It's time to do another throwback from the past. And
no, leave Blackout Fridays alone. Thank you.
See, you could throw that into the rotation for Throwback Thursday because the black was originally sort of 2007-ish.
Yeah.
You could have a rotation of jerseys for Throwback Thursday.
Well, if we're doing that, then we need to bring the 86 one back as well, the racing stripes.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. It'd save me a fortune because then I wouldn't have to buy the Cooperstown Keith version.
You see, Throwback Thursday, it's a genius idea.
Yeah, that's marketing. That is money, baby. Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope Steve's listening.
Let's reply to Uncle Steve.
After the pod, let's tweet Steve and see if we can get a response.
Pitch him an idea, yeah.
Send in the link as well.
Yeah. Cheeky.
Here we were discussing universe. Throwback Thursdays.
Yeah, why not? What do you think? Let us know down in the comments below. Like, do you think we should do a Throwback Thursday? Should we bring the ice cream jerseys back? Let us know your jersey hot takes. Obviously, it's all just for fun. We know nothing.
It'll soon be one of Joe's favourite times as well, spring training cap reveal time.
Oh, yes.
Don't.
What do you think is going to, Joe, what do you think it's going to be this year?
I don't know, but I'm going to be strong.
You said that last year,
Well,
and you end up caving.
No, but look at it.
Bought it.
Look at it, so cool. I don't know what it would be. Maybe it'd be Mrs. Met this year. Now that would be good. Mrs. Met on the spring training thing.
I do think last year's one's going to be very hard to top. I think the Mets definitely nailed it last year with the orange cap. That if you're watching the video version of the pod, you can see over Joe's shoulder there in the background. There we go.
If she realizes
I wouldn't make a good weather girl. I wouldn't make a good weather girl, so I don't know where I'm pointing.
Okay. So we're actually early this time. Wow. Our half-hour thing. Well, we're early. We're that efficient. See, we're back onto like regular season form. It's like when you watch GKR during spring training and it takes them a few to get back to speed. We don't need that. We're experts here. It only takes us one episode.
Does it mean I have a moment to mention X-Met watch that just tugged at the heartstrings again today?
Go on then.
Harrison signed with the Giants.
Yeah, I saw that.
No.
What were you when I saw that, actually?
Did you? Oh,
I would be upset.
Yeah, Toria's upset because, you can't go to the Dodgers and you can't go to the Giants. Like, why would you do that to me? Just why? So Harrison,
that's almost as bad.
I know, but for me, with the whole, I have a, the whole history thing. It just still gets to me. Not that I hold grudges at all ever. So I can't get behind the Dodgers and I can't get behind the Giants. So why would you go to the Giants? Wow.
He did it just to annoy you.
He did. I thought he thought, how can I break her heart even more? I know. I'll sign the Giants. That's what he thought. Yep. So yeah, I was a bit gutted about that today. But we could have had him back. But fine.
We'll end on a downer for a change.
Do you know, sorry. Just one more thing. Just call me Columbo. We haven't really mentioned. We talked a little bit about him last week, with all of the comings and goings, where Mark Vientos ends up. I mean, it's looking very likely DH, but is he going to want to DH? Is he just going to DH and be utility in the infield?
He'd be a good DH if it was the Mark Vientos from the postseason a year or so ago. If that was the one we were getting, then that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? But I don't know if he will. Good question.
I'm not a fan of his
DH.
agent.
No, none of us are.
So if he was to go, then bye-bye.
Ooh. It's a little extreme.
We need a DH there. We need a bopper in there.
Well, I am here for controversial opinions today.
It's worth noting Vientos' salary of the Mets is projected to be around $820,000 for this year. So it's not like he's a big investment. I know it's Cohen, money's not an issue, but as far as roster management and contracts go, that's quite small by MLB standards. I'm just putting it out there. If he's not happy being the everyday DH, Steve Cohen, you're clearly watching the pod because we've tweeted you. I'm happy to be the DH for half of that money. I'll gladly do it.
Yeah. Or even a quarter,
Oh, half because of the taxes. New York taxes are high.
Yeah, okay. And accommodation, pricey.
Yeah. And he'd have to fly us over every week to do the pod. So
cheerleaders as well. We can be like your version of the Queen's crew.
Yeah.
Your own private, entourage.
Oh.
Hashtag Queen's crew. There we go.
Right.
Anywho, we'll end on that note. If you've watched this far, as always, much appreciated. We do see every comment, and retweet. It's always appreciated, never taken for granted. If you've enjoyed the episode, why not share, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. We'll be back same time, same place next week with hopefully more crazy Mets news to talk about. But all that leaves us to say is let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.